Slowest start to a year of my career, 27 years. I went 5 weeks without a production assignment. I got to look through the calendar. I've probably had that big of a gap in the past, but I can't think of when. Certainly not in January and February. I historically always get a little surge of trade show related production content in the first quarter of the year. And this year, not a single Q1 corporate assignment. And yeah, that's enough downtime to get all bitter and cynical about this career I chose for myself. And yeah, when I get in these lulls, I'm like, F this. I got to find something new to do with my time. I'm so over this. I have that same sentiment when I go 5 weeks of long hours, lots of work. I spent the last several weeks trying to chase down some old unpaid invoices. I'm seeing this trend that I've experienced in 2 other rounds in my career of fast pay clients becoming net 30 clients becoming 60 plus days. 3D printing a lens cap. FX3 case we're going to leave out overnight because we've got to charge all the wireless follow focus batteries. We're going to finish at about 10 p.m. and then I got to get up at about 3:30 in the morning to make a 6 a.m. flight to wherever it is I'm going. So I got a tripod case, 1 LED light with a Shimura, Sockler 15 aluminum sticks, 1 Lowell stand, and the VCT plate is in this case. I gotta weigh it. I might be over 50 pounds. I'm flying Southwest, so I'm trying to do it with just 2 check bags. Camera case that's getting checked. We got the Burano body, card readers, cards, using my wool socks. That's the shoulder pad. That is the top handle. I got a small rig mat box, on-camera shotgun, XLR, dual gold mount travel charger, shoulder pad, EVF with a sock over the diopter so the cable doesn't damage it in transit or if TSA rifles through. Got 1 Sanken mic, we're gonna go hardwired. I've got an 82 mil circular polarizer for the FX3. This is a reminder for me, we're 3D printing a lens cap so I can just cap directly over this ring. And I had one of these lenses get damaged in transit. I did a repair video. I had to replace some of the parts on the front end of the lens. So I don't travel with these attached anymore. And 2 FX3 chargers. Those are some t-shirts and personal clothing. Some more socks here. The Sony grip. A couple hand tools. And then my carry-on will be FX3 24-70. 200 to 600, and then I'm self-contained here, so at least I can shoot if my check bags don't show up, because I land at 11 a.m. and I gotta go straight to set and start shooting. So I got 4 gold mount batteries, I got my toothbrush in here, FX3 card reader and cards, bridge support rods for this lens. Here's 1 more gold mount. 1, 2, 3, 4. MacBook and tablet on this side. Neck pillow so I can sleep on the flight. I got some noise canceling headphones that are charging, and still got to add my toothbrush and sunglasses as personal items. But this is my kit. I just got to make sure that one's under 50. This one's definitely under 50. But 3 cases. I got 1 cam strap so I can sash together the 2 Pelicans. I'm traveling solo. I'm super excited about that new Ronin, the RS4 Mini.
Are you gonna get it?
Not right away, but yeah, I think so. I gotta work more. Like spending money and not working enough. Time lapse, and I forgot to bring it.
You wanna use this one?
No, that's all right. You
I was just gonna use it to put it right here, but
Sweet.
totally useless.
Is it connected?
And then, is that the monitor right there?
Yes.
Oh, it's a little sensitive.
You can slow it all down. Those sliders if you want.
Any cable, I think that's good. Yeah, the cables are, it looks like the cables are...
Alright, so next up is, it's off right now. You press and hold the record button. The screen is like burned up. What's that?
Can you airdrop me these clips?
Yes.
At the end of the night or just later?
So if you twist too far, the motor's gonna skip off the gears, and then we gotta go out there and fix it.
It's gotta be slow.
So you gotta be gentle with it. Looks like the gimbal's like compensating a lot too. But let's see if I'm zoomed in all the way. Is the gimbal holding it? How come it's rolling, or is that you?
I gotta roll.
You just disable the roll.
Really?
Yeah,
that was news to me.
Yeah,
All right.
and apparently we're gonna start giving out rev gear to the people who win.
First attempt with the pan tilt zoom gimbal mounted on a C-stand. We put it in one of the dressing rooms on the side of the cage where we cannot place an operator to shoot up and over the top. And then Beck again volunteered to operate the opposing angle from the ladder. So working on his operating skills. He's got to refine his headroom control, and he's kind of rolling the horizon a bit. We reviewed this footage after, and he's certainly getting a little better with each attempt. Best way to learn how to become a better shooter is on actual projects.
Oh, here we go.
This is awesome, dude.
I'm gonna make it grab.
Oh! Nice.
Take that front leg, Diego.
Away! And you need a 1-2. Away! Let's see those hands.
The ladder shot's working out nicely, other than it's a pain in the butt setting up the ladder. I don't have a good spot in my van for it. So I'm devising a wood riser build out that will clamp to the side of the cage for stability. I got to get permission from the gym and just get her done. I'm going to work on that in the coming weeks. On the other side of the cage is our remote head. We can't put an operator over there because there's a wall, but it's a shorter partition in the dressing room, so I set a C-stand in, armed it over with a Cardellini. Long term, I'm going to get some kind of touch and go mount that we screw to the top of that partition to delete the C-stand. Shooting 3 days on a big commercial shoot. I'm like a supplemental guy, not BTS, but cast members in different alt wardrobe for alt marketing is what I'm shooting. Once I got the punch list and had the Zoom call on the creative, it made sense for me to shoot E-mount. Went with the 28 to 135, 200 to 600 zoom, and 24 to 70 on the FX3, which I ended up not using. This was a fun experience for me. I had a relatively low responsibility role, got to observe all these kind of A-listers working, big crews. Crew people came in from Los Angeles. I think we had a few from New York, Nashville, Grip Electric, and Art Department. I believe we're all local Jacksonville, Florida area. A lot of cube trucks and vehicles to park, multiple company moves per day. Got up about 3:30 this morning for a 6 a.m. departure out of San Antonio. Layover in Atlanta, switched over, came into Jacksonville, and then I screwed up the rental car. I had to go to the counter. I didn't think I had to. And the freaking counter line was an hour and 15 minutes. That was awful. And then I went to set. Big film shoot today. I can't show any of it. And I'm just shooting some promo content with some of the cast. And stood around all day, watched the crew work, or the second half of their day at least. But I didn't actually get to shoot anything. All my stuff's going to get stacked into the next 2 days, which I think are days on this show 6 and 7 of production. But all right, I got to decide if I'm going to eat here at the hotel or go drive around and find a better meal. I think I'm going to go drive around. I got to run to the drugstore. It's pretty. Man, Florida cities are so much cleaner than Texas cities. Few people watching my YouTube videos have picked up these Lowell stands based on seeing me use them in the field. There are many different iterations and generations of Lowell kit stands. I was first exposed to these in like the early 90s when I was in school for like news and small tungsten light kits. These were ubiquitous. I still like them because they're the most compact for airline travel. But this generation Uni 2 that looks like this is the best stand out of all the ones I've seen. They also made I think it was called the Uni 2 HD. They had a heavy duty version, and I used to run my Joker 400 and 800. The 800 was a little iffy. Now, a Joker 800 is probably about the same weight as maybe like a Aperture 1200. Nah, maybe not that big. A little smaller. Baby Joker 800 was baby pin. Parabolic. kind of heavy. But anyway, the Uni 2 has got a wider base than all the other Lowell stands, and it opens up a little bit different. You can see like that's the best way to have it out. So these legs are like extra long compared to the other Lowell stands, and if you extend this up more, they start to skinny up and it's not as stable. So that's not really the best way to run it. You want to run it where the center riser is almost touching the ground, and then it's easy to put a bag on those triangle shaped cross pieces. When I travel, I generally don't run sandbags on these because I'm running smaller lights, and I also run a boom pole on it. But like on this trip, I've got a little LED panel with that's the Shamira from my old Joker 800. It's a little too off balance, so I run a water fillable water bag when I'm on the road with that stand. The 1615s are starting to show their age and abuse from all the travel. I've got one broken clip, and I've got several wheel ball bearings that are failing. They don't need me for a couple hours, so I am circling the location looking for some hot coffee. I found cold brew at Crafty. Rumor is there might be some hot coffee down this hall. Hang a left, hang a right. Somehow the iris rods for this lens disappeared. Had to run it unsupported. Now that I've done that with the locking mount on the Burano, it feels fine. The camera feels like the same weight and balance point as the 28 to 135. Even once I got home, I dug through all my cases. I don't see the rods anywhere. First run in the field with the Android tablet using the Sony Monitor and Control app. Works okay. It's a little bit tedious. Each time I reboot the camera, I got to reconnect to the Wi-Fi network and then go into the app and reconnect the app to the camera, which the whole process probably takes 30 seconds. I got my agency director trained up on how to do it after I did it the 1 or 2 times, and he was self-sufficient from there on out. I brought 4 batteries out with me, topped off 2 of them on day 2, but I shot less than 1 battery per day and ended up only charging that one time. And then this is the A and B camera charging station from the A unit. They're running Alexa 35s, and they're running block batteries on those Alexas, and anytime they're back at the cart or when Steadicam was docked, they'd patch into the block battery. All right, I'll wrap it up here. I'm so happy to be out and working again. I've got this week I'm off as I narrate this, and then starting next week, I've got a couple of weeks of work, scattered. I got 4 days next week. I think I got 1 or 2 days holding the following, and then I got this big 3-week on the road international travel coming up. Really excited for that one. Thanks for watching.